Welcome back to the Peanut Gallery. This is the sports section of the show. I'm your host, Drew Piscopo. I'm here with Austin Honey Bun and Logan Long Neck Nestor. So first up, we got Sean Payton. He's appealing the one-year suspension for the bounty plan. If he appeals it, do you think he'll be able to win? And also, if not, Bill Parcells is rumored to be maybe interested in the Saints job. So what do you think? What do you think of him maybe becoming the next head coach of the Saints? Austin, go ahead.
In terms of appealing the suspension, he won't win it. Like I think that's a given. If you go back and look, there's no way I don't think that.
So do you think he will appeal it?
I think he will, because what it does is it buys him time and it buys the Saints time to give them more time to find that head coach, and Bill Parcells becoming the next coach. If he decides to, that means he has to come out of retirement, and that adds 5 years on to if he can get into the Hall of Fame. So that'll give him more time to think if this is really what he wants to do, because he's got a possible Super Bowl team waiting if he wants to coach them.
So you think that's why he's interested?
Oh yeah. I think if he sits back, I think if he does choose it, it's because he wants to win another ring, and he knows that he could with the Saints.
Right. What do you think?
All right, I think that Sean Payton should definitely appeal, because he really has nothing to lose by appealing. His punishment can't get more harsh if he appeals and loses. So it's going to be a year max no matter what. I buy Austin's argument that it gives Bill Parcells more time to think, but as far as the Saints getting another head coach in, if it's not Bill Parcells, they just need to get him in now, because even though Sean Payton, even though it's just an interim coach and all 95% sure they'll just be there 1 year and then Sean Payton will be back, Sean Payton is the coach of the Saints, but he's still not going to be there this year, so they need to get whoever's going to be there in ASAP. So, I think that he needs to appeal it, but the Saints need to move on as quick as possible. And as far as Bill Parcells goes, I think if you're going to come back, this is the way to do it, because it's no commitment. 1 year. You've got a team poised for a deep playoff run, and I think if you ask, not all retired coaches, because some of them are out of the game for good, but a lot of happily retired coaches, if they could just come back for one season with a Super Bowl ready team, not any rebuilding, not any, there's off-season work there, obviously, but not the rigors of several seasons. I think Bill Parcells would definitely, if he's going to come back, this is the time to do it. And Bill Parcells already definitely a Hall of Fame coach. There's a question of whether or not he's going to be first ballot or not. But if he came in and won a Super Bowl with these Saints, first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt.
Do you agree with that? Do you think he's already a Hall of Fame
coach?
coach?
Oh yeah. I mean, he's got 2 Super Bowl rings. What he's done, you can't take away from him. So I think all he can do, especially with the team that the Saints are already, that can only probably get better.
So you think he should take it for 1 year?
I don't know. I think he knows that he's in the Hall of Fame no matter what. It's going to come down to, does he want another Super Bowl ring to go along with his first 2? But another thing, if the Saints do decide to go with him, there's a rule in the NFL where they have to at least interview 2 coaches. So they can't go up to him, give him a contract right there.
Right.
But I think what will happen is if he says he wants to, they'll go ahead and interview somebody else and then give it to him. But if he says no, I think they're going to go right away and give it to one of the assistant coaches, because then they don't have to interview anybody else. They can just hand it down.
I think Bill Parcells is definitely one of the better options. Maybe not the best, because he hasn't been in the league for a couple years, but one thing I don't think the Saints should do, and I've heard this in some circles, maintain some continuity, move up an assistant. If you move up an assistant and he goes 12-4 and makes a deep playoff run, then you lost your assistant. There's no coach that's going to make a 12-4 playoff run or anything similar to it and stay an assistant coach the next year. He's going to get picked up somewhere, and even if he doesn't get picked up, then he was a head coach that year, so he was getting maybe not Sean Payton money, not elite head coach money, but still got head coach money. And do you want to pay your offensive coordinator as much as a lot of teams are paying their head coach, because he's not going to take a pay cut? So no matter what the Saints do, I would not move up from.
Well, I think with your point, it brings up a good point to why they should take Bill Parcells, especially with maybe it might get rid of a good assistant coach eventually down the road if they do well. So I just want to get a yes/no. Do you think Bill Parcells should take the Saints job? Yes or no?
I'm going to say yes.
What do you think?
Should Parcells take it? Yes. Should the Saints be pursuing Parcells as their first option? No.
Okay. All right, next, let's go to the NFL draft. We got Andrew Luck and Robert Griffin III. With the first pick, the Colts have it, obviously. Who do you think the Colts should take, Luck or Griffin? Go ahead, Logan.
I definitely there's never a sure thing in the NFL draft, and quarterbacks. This is especially true because you just have to look no further than Ryan Leaf. Everybody knows what a disaster that was. But Andrew Luck, if you're talking about prospects, it's as close to a sure thing as you can get. He's been in the eye for years. He's got the body. He's got the arm. By all concessions, he's got the brains for it. So if there's anything close to a sure thing, it's Andrew Luck. Robert Griffin III definitely has amazing physical tools and showed a good arm and good recognition of defenses this year. But my problem with Robert Griffin III is that while Andrew Luck is definitely a huge, like, as close to a sure thing as you get, Robert Griffin III came out of nowhere. Like, I follow college football. I'm not a rabid college football fan. But 3 games into the season, if you would have said Robert Griffin III to me, I didn't know who he was. Right. And I definitely didn't know before this year started. So I don't think anyone outside of Baylor's conference, not anyone, but I'd say the majority of college football fans outside of Baylor's conference did not know who Robert Griffin III was before this year. And that worries me. And I'd take Andrew Luck just because neither one have been in the NFL, but if there's a proven commodity between the two, it's Andrew Luck. Right. And I would rather gamble with a 2 than with a 1 because if you're a GM, then they'll burn you at the stake for messing up with the number 1.
Okay, well, I think, to your point, I understand that. But if you look at how much the Redskins gave up to jump up to number 2, they can't take a gamble either. Obviously, they're going to be left with, picking whichever one the Colts don't pick. So which one do you think the Colts should pick, Luck or Griffin?
I'm going to go with Logan. They should definitely take Luck because he is the guy that they have been saying. Well, they haven't technically said that's who we're going to go with, but everybody in the league, all the fans are saying that's who they want. And I've got a feeling that that's who they're going to take. Because, his his combine stats, he was graded a 97. That's 2 points higher than Griffin. So just like that, he ran a 4.67 40-yard dash. His broad jump was longer than Cam Newton's last year. And we all thought Cam Newton was the best. And
that's pretty impressive if you think of how great of an athlete Newton is.
Oh, yeah. And if you look at how big of an impact Newton had, although the Panthers didn't win that much, his stats were unbelievable, especially as a rookie quarterback. And the Colts are more set up for, I think, Andrew Luck because Griffin is more of that active kind of that guy that can make plays out of nothing. Because if you look at the Redskins right now, they're nothing. I'm a Redskins fan, but they don't have anything. They need a guy that they can come in and pretty much spark them, set them on fire. And this guy's young, athletic, can throw the ball.
Right.
There's nothing really wrong with him.
I agree with you. I think the Colts offense fits Luck better, and I think the Redskins offense is obviously going to fit Robert Griffin III's style better. All right, with that, we got to take a break. We'll be right back. After the break, we're going to have Austin Rivers. He's declared for the draft. We're going to talk about these two guys' thoughts on that. And then Emory and Henry's football team is in spring ball right now. So we're going to discuss that right after the break.